Hello and welcome back to the Daily NUFC preview show. Today I'm joined by Dan. Dan, thanks for coming on today.
No, thanks for having me. It means a lot. Looking forward to it.
I'm going to start with Dan. I keep an eye on teams that are around in and around Newcastle. You know, Burnley, Norwich, Watford, and whatnot. And I've seen you're in 18th position, but your only loss in your last 8 games comes to Man City, which is remarkable, really. Is 18th place for you quite deceiving in a way?
Yeah, I'd say based on our performances have deserved better. Even Dash has said, the draws that we've had, it's a case of, how do I word it, sort of just ironing out those finer details and just managing to get over the line. I mean, I look at Wednesday's game for an example. I think that showed to a lot of people that watched that it didn't even look like either team wanted to put the ball in the back of the net. It was almost like they'd have both been happy with a point, which is strange to say when Wolves were sat in sixth. It is strange. It is deceiving, obviously, being down there. I thought we'd have done a bit better, especially after last season, because, last season we were so close to the drop. Last season there were 3 teams worse than us. This season, I think we're one of them 3, and that's why it's worrying.
We kind of feel the same with the Newcastle side of things. We feel like the last few years, or for many years, really, we've got away with it. There's been 3 worse teams. I know what you're talking about, but you've had some decent results in there. You got a point at Stamford Bridge. You played Palace in a 6-goal thriller, which was a brilliant game. I thought you played really well in that, a 3-3, and you only lost 2-0 to City at the Etihad. So I can see where you're coming from. You've been a bit unlucky, but at least you've got that one win, unlike us boys.
Yeah, I suppose every cloud and stuff like that, but it's just typical. Stats are there to be broken, and I mean, we played Norwich and gave them their first point of the season when everyone was like, right, well, if you can't beat Norwich, then you're in the mud, basically. You really are. So to give them their first point, we've probably helped them gain a bit of belief. So I do apologise, but it's one of those. We've both suffered the same thing now. A draw against Norwich, to everybody in the league, to be honest, is probably the worst team in the Premier League this season. As much as what Newcastle have done so far, I don't even think that they're that bad enough to even brand as the worst, because they haven't been. I know the league table says different, but it's a completely different kettle of fish. It has been difficult for you guys, and at the moment, it's a transitional period for Newcastle Football Club. So who knows? As I said, stats are there to be broken. It won't surprise me if you go and absolutely annihilate us this weekend, and I really hope that's not the case.
You're as nervous as me, mate. Talk to me a little bit about your new signing, Cornet. I mean, he scored 5 goals this season. He's looked brilliant. I saw that volley he scored the other week. He looks phenomenal. How good has he been?
Oh, breath of fresh air, mate. Honestly, really, really has. Come through the door, everyone's just like, wow, you've come from Lyon playing Champions League football to literally a dump like Burnley, to be honest. And I can say that because it's our dump. We can say that. But yeah, it was strange to see him come through the door. I'm glad that we did. I'm glad that the chairman flew out to France to get the deal done and try and persuade him as well. So that was almost like an extra good touch. We've not had that from a chairman. I mean, the chairman prior wanted change out of a tenner, so he wouldn't put his hand in his pocket. But Cornet, just how do I describe him? He scored, as you say, 5 goals so far. The goal of the season contenders on his own. He's a player that can get into the channels, get in behind the defence, which is very strange because we've sort of used to 11 stiff robotic idiots just, trying to pump a ball to Chris Wood.
Yeah.
So to actually have a bit of being able to get the ball down, play a bit of football, knowing that you've got a creative spark in your side. I think as well with Cornet, the signing of him has also taken a bit of the weight off McNeil's shoulders as well, because McNeil was basically, right, you alienate his game, that's it, you've alienated Burnley. But now that we've got 2 players that can sort of create something from the wings, It's very interesting, and yeah, I mean, long may it continue, because he's been absolutely, he's just a breath of fresh air. Honestly, really is. And we all know what Burnley's like. They don't delve in the foreign market. That's why we're known as Brexit FC. So either way you look at it, I'm happy enough that he's in. But if he keeps the form up, brilliant. If it keeps us up, even better. But we'll definitely lose him at some point for big money.
It's the way it works, isn't it, mate? All small clubs.
It is.
But if I'm a Burnley fan and I'm looking at this game, I'm thinking, yeah, we've only lost one in our last 8. I mean, we've drawn a lot, but if we can push on, win the game at St James's Park Saturday, you run out your Christmas period run compared to the other clubs in the relegation fight, if you like, isn't as hard. I think you've got Villa in there, you've got West Ham, which compared to Newcastle and Leeds, who are down there, they're down there, and Newcastle have got Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Leicester after you.
You've got a
I'm a
really
Burnley
tough
fan,
running.
yeah, if I'm a Burnley fan, I'm thinking if we can win this, we can really push on, and maybe by January, let's say, you can be maybe not clear of the relegation zone, but you can be more comfortable.
Yeah, it seems to happen like that for Burnley as well. We always seem to start really awful, and we just can't seem to get a run of results together. And then somehow around this period of time, around now or the beginning of January, we sort of start to see a bit of results coming, back to back. And it's those bulk of results that end up keeping us up season in, season out. So am I hoping for that again? Of course I am. I am absolutely, 20p, 50p for 90 minutes tomorrow. I'll tell you that now. I am not looking forward to it. But that said, it's going to be a very strange game, because obviously we know what Eddie Howe's like, the way he likes to set up. When he was Burnley manager, he was very attack-minded. It was a case of, well, if you score 3, we'll score 4. But as I've already said to a few people, we had Charlie Austin who were banging goals in for fun. When he left, Danny Ings stepped up to the plate and started banging goals in for fun. We got lucky in that aspect. Obviously, it's strange because Newcastle needs somebody in that can be sort of defensive minded, but obviously get the attack going. So it's going to be a strange game. I think it could be like the game on New Year a couple of seasons back when it was a 3-3. I mean, it could just be one of those where two teams start playing expansive football and they're just counteracting each other every single time. It's either going to be high scoring or literally just a bore draw. But it's a must win. It is a must win. So if both sides go out to play for a point, I'd be very disappointed.
Yeah, I highly doubt they will. Talk to me a bit about Nathan Collins, the Irish centre half who played against Wolves, didn't he? Started.
Yeah.
And I think he played.
Yeah. So
he played earlier on in the year, didn't he? As well this season, or was it his first appearance this season?
No, he's played previously as well. He's played a couple of games. I think 3 Premier League appearances now, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
But yeah, he's always looked pretty solid. And to be honest, it doesn't worry me. At first I was a bit like, Tarkowski was suspended. Ashley Westwood was suspended on Wednesday. Now they're back.
Yeah.
I'd keep Collins in all opinion. I think no matter who you put alongside Ben Mee, they just end up becoming absolutely like just a beast. They really do. We've seen Ben Mee turn Michael Keane into an England defender, Tarkowski into an England defender, prolonged Michael Duff's career till he was like 38, 39. So, I think obviously Ben Mee's the unsung hero in it, but Nathan Collins, when he's been in the side, has been pretty solid. And another one at Burnley from off the Stoke conveyor belt. We're one stamp away from completing a full con and getting a free Stoke player. So who knows? Who's the next one through the door?
You mentioned Tarkowski there and Ben Mee, and Tarkowski's been linked away. He's been linked with Newcastle a few times, but who hasn't these past few weeks? But I saw an article the other day where Burnley refused to sell him, and I think that's the right decision. Just how important are Ben Mee and Tarkowski at the back for you boys?
Yeah, it's like having 2 doormen that work together. That know each other inside and out, and they know they'll all have each other's back. And I like that about it. I think we've always not set up quite defensively, but when it comes to having to defend, we've been pretty solid at that. It's just only recently where we've sort of seen a few cracks because we've tried to be a bit more expansive. And when you do try to get on the front foot, when you're not expecting it as Burnley, because usually the ball goes to the centre backs, then it's pumped forward. They don't really have to move. But now that we're trying to shuffle up the pitch and create a bit of space, it's leaving us with a few tears and cracks at the back. And don't get me wrong, though, they are two brilliant defenders. I think Ben Mee will retire as a Burnley player. I don't think he'll ever leave. If he does, I'd be gutted, to be honest. But Tarkowski, obviously, his contract's up in the summer. If he goes to you guys, fair play to him. Fair play to him. I think if Tarkowski does go to you, it'll be better for you than the Jeff Hendrick deal. Put it that way.
Oh Christ! I'm not sure if you know this, but in our last 5 Premier League meetings, we've won 2. Burnley have won 2, and we've drawn. So I was going to ask you, what is your score prediction for tomorrow?
I mean, we've already played at St James's Park, haven't we, in the cup this season that went to penalties, and we won that. So if I'm basing it on the fact that we've already been to St James's Park, I know the teams were different because it's cup games, of course it is, but I think you've probably got, obviously with Clark being out, that's probably a godsend for you guys.
It really is. It really is.
Having Shaw and Federico back is going to be massive at the back. So I can't change what I've gone for. I'm going to have to go Burnley 2-1, but it's definitely a game that could go either way. But I'm going to have to back my own team because away from home, that's where we've been a lot stronger. So yeah, I'll take 2-1 Burnley, obviously.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us today, Dan. I appreciate you coming on, mate. You've been brilliant.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. So cheers for everything.
Cheers. Nice one.